Hi, everyone. It's Lindsay Mellenburn here to provide you with your A to Z BizLink Daily Dose. So, on today's episode, I have Kathleen Gramzay joining us. She is a body and mind expert and has some great tips for each and every one of you. So, Kathleen, thanks so much for joining us today.
Always my pleasure.
So, we have been talking about mindful resilience, and I think that is such a timely topic, especially since a lot of us are stuck at home and there's more conversations around mental health and whatnot nowadays. I'm curious, what kind of tips would you have for those that are currently at home?
Well, Lord knows we can all use them, right? I mean, it really is a challenging time. And when you think about resilience, just the definition of the word, resilience is really the ability to adapt to care for, adapt to, or recover from stress, trauma, or challenge, right? Or adversity, right? So same thing. And Lord knows, I mean, nothing like a pandemic to give us all of that phase, top of what we're already experiencing in life, just as normal stresses and challenges. So the ability to be resilient is critical. And the first and most important thing is to be able to recognize that we get triggered. What happens is when we get threatened, right, our nervous system is set up for survival. So anything that threatens our safety, whether it's our perception of safety in terms of personal, so obviously a virus can make us really nervous, our nervous system's really nervous. Also, when our financial world, right, our money, our finances are our sense of security in the world. So having those things impacted, right, and then you add on our concern for people we love, everybody else who we're concerned about their health, it is quite an extraordinary barrage of attack on our nervous system of this concept of threat. So the first thing is to recognize that we're all triggered, right? And so what happens is when we're inside of the nervous system in that emergency state, what's happening is we're functioning in survival mode, which means that the brain and the nervous system put the priorities on keeping us safe. So that means whatever's not emergency, it turns off or it shuts down or, represses. So what happens is that actually means that the brain, our higher critical thinking brain, is not necessary for emergency, believe it or not, to the nervous system. What's necessary is in the programming of our evolution, it's necessary to put our energy into our heart and into our limbs so we could run from the tiger, so to speak. So our immune system is suppressed when we are stressed, when we are under, a threat or an emergency state. So it's exactly the exact opposite of the place we need to be able to function well, because our critical thinking brain is offline, as is our ability to our immune system to function at its optimum. So really it's about, first and foremost, looking at the things that are really upsetting us, right? So really noticing where we're feeling resistance. Because there's stuff right now, we can take all the precautions as we're meant to, as we all should be doing, right? The CDC, all the things that we all know to do to keep ourselves hygienically clean and distancing and all that stuff. The other aspect is in your daily life, just notice where you're feeling resistance. What are you so with all of us trying to, like the majority of the world is now online, right? Trying to do work online as we are, right? So yesterday we were trying to do this podcast, this dose, and literally technology didn't cooperate. So instead of resisting that, right? Because if you find yourself getting anxious, frustrated, angry, or overwhelmed, you are in emergency state. Everybody. So when you hear that, when you notice that, understand that you're not in your optimum functioning side. That is the time to first stop the resistance to what is. If you're really getting, maybe technology is making you a little crazy in the moment, or your kids are, trying to, ask you stuff and they're bored and they're trying to do something while you're trying to get work done. The first thing is stop resisting, just notice. And then, simple as it is, take some nice deep breaths count to 10, count one in, one out, and just literally 1, 2, up to 10, and it'll help calm your nervous system down. The next thing is when you're working, right, we're all still trying to, most of us are still, trying to function in ways we're able to do wise. Pick 1 or 2 priorities for the day. What are the two most important things? Block out 90-minute segments, one in the morning and one at night. Have your whole goal be those 2 things. And then you have to protect those. So if you have to ask your boss or tell your boss, these are the times, my morning, every day and every night in the afternoon, these are the times I'm turning off my phone, I'm turning off my email, I'm turning off everything with a notification, ding or buzz, and I'm focusing on these things. Tell your family, these are my 90-minute segments. What you'll find is it'll give you peace. You'll be able to bring this clearer thinking side of your brain back online. You'll be more pleasant. The socially engaged side is also where the immune system side is. So when we're anxious or fearful or frustrated, that is not when we're our best person with our other people, right? So that's a couple of things. So, release resistance, focus on your 2 priorities for the day, and then take mini breaks. When you realize you're getting stressed or you're getting frustrated, take little mini breaks. Now is the time to, in those little mini breaks, drink water. So all this stuff they're talking about boosting your immune system, drink water, eat a piece of fruit, right? Whatever you're putting into your body, do put something that's actually going to nourish and help and support your immune system. If if you need a little bump and you need a little caffeine, get to have a cup of green teas, cut back on the coffee a little bit and just have some green tea, have some water, have things that have a glass of juice, right? Something that's going to really be a benefit in your mini breaks. Stretch, do something, bounce up and down on your feet. The lymph system, which is a one-way vacuum system. So the reason how we stay healthy and how the lymph, which is our immune system, is where it is, how it moves is how it functions is by us moving, because it's a one-way vacuum. It's not like our blood, it doesn't circulate up and down. It literally, our movement is the muscles moving is what's moving the lymph that has to then circulate with all those beautiful antibodies. So jumping rope, a little mini trampoline, literally just standing up and bouncing is helpful. So that's something that everybody can do.
All of that's super helpful. And though it's April Fool's Day, there's no joke about any of this.
Right.
That will continue to help everybody. So Kathleen, I really appreciate you taking the time to share some great insight with everyone on the Daily Dose of BizLink.
You're so welcome. And the most important thing is remember how we're really interdependent upon each other, and being able to support each other is really critical. And if more people want deeper skills, I am doing my Mindful Resilience virtual workshop this Friday and every Friday for the month. And I'm doing a Pay It Forward program, which is when everyone who registers, you get to gift a registration on to someone who could use it. So if you know a nurse who's like working crazy hours, anybody who's really overstressed right now, maybe they're doing emergency, services for us, register for yourself, get these tools, and then bless on to someone else who maybe can't, and then they can get the recording if they can't watch it in real time.
I love that you are providing the opportunity to pay it forward. Well,
Me
thank you.
too. I'm happy to do it. More people to help. We have all right. We can help each other.
All right, everyone. Be well. Thank you.
Thanks.